Did you invite a racist to dinner? I didn't. The breakdown starts now. Welcome to the breakdown. I'm Tara Setmayer. This is the Rick Wilson. Welcome back, Rick.
Hello, Tara. I'm glad to be back.
I'm so thrilled that you had an awesome birthday and time off, and we missed you, of course.
Thank you. I missed you guys too. It was the first real vacation I've taken in 3 years, and wow, I didn't even know how much I needed it.
Yes. Well,
I've returned to my human form.
We all knew it, and we were all thrilled that you finally got a chance to rest and recharge, and you're back now with us.
I am indeed
fully recharged and we're ready to go.
Yep.
Just you didn't really miss much while you were gone. Yeah, there was a lot going on, and
we're going
to talk about it. Yeah, just a couple. Can we just get a holiday? I mean, it was Thanksgiving week last week. Can we just have one holiday without a freaking Trump controversy? I mean, this is what, 7 years running now where the holidays and Sunday brunch is ruined because of freaking Donald Trump and
because of this fucking guy.
Exactly, because of this fucking guy. But before I get to that, I want to mention some breaking news that we found out before we came on the show tonight. Justice has finally been served for some January 6th bastards. Elmer Stewart Rhodes, and some of his Oath Keeper bastards were convicted earlier today, found guilty. Not all of them got seditious conspiracy. He did, though.
He did.
Him and Kelly Meggs, I believe. No, yep. Stewart Rhodes and Kelly Meggs were found guilty. Yes. The three others.
Kelly Meggs.
That's right. And the three others were found not guilty of the biggest charge, which was seditious conspiracy, but they were found guilty of obstruction of official proceedings, which is still a federal felony that comes with jail time, I hope. I mean, usually they won't get the maximum, but they still, I believe, will see some jail time given the nature of the crime. And Stewart Rhodes could face up to 20 years in prison. So I think it's official to say that they're convicted traitors.
I would like to go to one of the famous Republican anti-Trump talking points of since 1/6. Well, if it was seditious conspiracy, why has no one been sentenced to it? Well, now, Brit Hume, you can shut your fucking mouth.
Oh, but wait. Brit Hume said insurrection because they weren't convicted of insurrection.
Let's build that lily a little bit more, Brit, shall we?
Get out of here. Exactly. I mean, these people, and I'm really disappointed in Brit Hume. I just can't believe that he went that way. You know,
he's smarter than
better. That. Exactly. He knows better. You know,
he knows what he's doing.
Wallace didn't go that way and tarnish his father's legacy. I mean, my God, Brit Hume, really? You know what else? Before we get into the other stuff, the racist dinner at Mar-a-Lago and all that other nonsense, and we've got another election still going on. Midterms aren't over yet. We get to that in a minute. Did you see that the Republicans
I just need a nap.
Right? I mean, like I say, can we get a week? No, we can't. Did you see that the RNC, or I don't know if it's the RNC, but some Republicans are putting together this post-election autopsy that has Kellyanne Conway and Blake Masters on it?
Where have I seen this before? What's the autopsy going to say? You know what we need is more people who believe that lizard aliens shoot Jewish space lasers at people.
Right. We need more Nazi sympathizers and misogynists. And
I'd like more people who think women should stay in violent marriages because Christian civilization depends on it.
You got to be kidding me.
Okay.
I mean, the last time the Republicans did an autopsy, it was a legit one. And that was the one after Mitt Romney lost. And it was actually a good assessment that the party needed to cater to a larger, constituency. They needed to expand their demographics, minorities, gays, immigrants, like that. Yes. Nope, but that's not the direction they went. And they went in the complete opposite direction and tripled down on white grievance. Well, I mean, I guess it was successful for them for one presidency, but you're not going to continue to do that. The Republican Party is going to die off at this rate. But yeah, let's put Kellyanne Conway and Blake Masters on an autopsy committee and think that that's going to be something that is worth anything. I don't think so.
I mean, look, this idea that there's going to be an autopsy when when this is like saying, there's a leopard eating my face. I need to go to a doctor to find out what's wrong. Why my head hurts so much. Right. Oh, look, it's the fucking leopard eating your face.
Right. Yeah, we could save you a lot of time and trouble and money.
Now, let me help you with this one, guys. It's the face-eating leopard.
Or whatever that thing is on Donald Trump's head. But yes, it's that guy. He's the problem. Speaking of that guy, let's do last week in the Republican Party first, and then we'll get to that.
I think it would be best.
Let's do that first.
And we have breaking news at this hour as Democrats in one area are bringing back masking.
But Mike Lindell is like an Old Testament prophet.
And you all represent evil, including you. I want to look in your eyes, especially you.
It all started with, allowing women to wear pants.
Let's have peaceful protests from 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon.
Sirs and ma'ams, nothing is not owned by nobody. Everything is owned by somebody.
Thank you very much for your time.
You've got the leadership, the brass at the Department of Defense, who are prioritizing Pride Month, putting out pictures with rainbow bullets.
It feels like we're on the brink of, multiple World War IIIs.
Give me freedom or give me death.
Give me liberty.
No, you said freedom.
Oh, okay.
The Kyle Rittenhouse turkey shoe.
That's right, Kyle. When I saw how these fake news turkeys operated, I had to start coding immediately.
This election is about the people.
We have never been critical of anyone for being gay.
Who here is committed to stay until they actually revote? I'll be here by myself.
Normally little kids are ugly when they're really born at first.
Off, Nike.
I'm illiberal. I don't believe in democracy. I do not believe in universal suffrage. I don't support women's rights. I don't support LGBT rights. Trump was like, I like you. I was like, me? He said, this guy's smart.
The Golden Corral, you ought to have your wedding reception at the Golden Corral, because think about this now. You can get a plate for $9. You can invite 300 people. 9 times 300 is not that much. You don't have to pay that much money, and you get a chocolate fountain.
Yeah. Hello, Epic Department. Hello, Awesome Department.
This is what's going on in our house right now. I have no idea what the hell's happening.
And these people want to investigate Hunter Biden.
Yeah, that last clip of Coakley, Coakley Railson there. Yeah, I know what's going on in your house.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Don Jr.
Good Lord.
Go to the Martin County Sheriff's Office.
Rick, there was a clip in there. I mean, all of it's nutso, but we saw Nick Fuentes. Now, Nick Fuentes, for people who don't know, he's the young.
And if you don't know, thank God.
Right.
But here we are.
True. That's true. Really, you should know that means that you're actually like a decent person and you don't dive into the depths of the dark web, 4chan, 8chan, neo-Nazi, conspiracy theory, racist, bigot channels. But we show him almost every week in our last week in the Republican Party. And, God bless our editors who have to sit through and sift through this detritus to
because the guy does long shows,
really long shows, and they clip out the crazy, and I mean they have to decide. There's all of it's crazy, but this guy has been around for a couple years. His folks were at the Charlottesville rally. The Jews will not replace us people. He is the worst of the worst. And you see the things that he says, and every year he does a counter conference to CPAC, right? Like as if CPAC wasn't bad enough. There's actually a counter conference.
Right. For those of you who
America
are
First
conspiratorial, crazy, and racist enough,
right?
Why come next door to Nick Fuentes?
That's right.
Palooza.
That's right. And Marjorie Taylor Greene spoke at this thing last year, and so did Paul Gosar. I remember a time, Rick, when speaking at a neo-Nazi event where this kind of ilk was spewed would have gotten you universal condemnation and scorned. And here you have this 24-year-old motherfucker who spews this disgusting ilk, and he dined with the former president of the United States at his private club for 2 hours.
Yep. Listen,
and there was
I'm
silence
old enough
from
to
Republican
remember,
leadership until today.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember, speaking of CPAC first, I'm old enough to remember when Ronald Reagan in 1983 was endorsed by David Duke. And what did he do? Instead of waiting around or taking him to dinner or having or going to get pedicures together, whatever the hell Trump does, he went to CPAC and blasted in a wrath of God rip shit speech saying there is no room in the Republican Party for the Klan, for the anti-Semites, for the racists, none whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Donald Trump sits down and breaks bread with Kanye, who is, if he's not at the peak of the number one seed for anti-Semite of the year, I don't know who is.
Yeah.
Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes and that lunatic weirdo Milo Yiannopoulos, who is just a whole basket of snakes, on his own. It really tells you a lot about the base of the GOP. But I think the thing that's really even more illustrative here, Tara, is that the nervousness of Republican elected officials who come out and say, well, no one should sit down and have dinner with anti-Semites.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about? I don't know. Just
say it.
Whoever.
Right. I mean, Mitch McConnell, and it's been a week. It's been a week, by the way. It took him a week to come up with this. I mean, Jesus, Mitch McConnell, really? It took you that long? Well, what do we expect? The guy wouldn't stand up for his own wife, who Trump attacked with racist language more than once, okay? And here comes Mitch McConnell, sashaying out to the podium today to say that really milquetoast statement.
I object to racism and anti-Semitism. But, if he's the nominee of the party, I will vote for him. I will be there washing his limousine every morning because he's my guy. I got to stick with my guy.
I mean, that's what I tweeted. I was like, he said that, whoever does that won't be the next president of the United States. Really? He already was the president of the United States. And you, Mitch McConnell, said that you would vote for him again if he was the nominee in 2024 before. So why don't you just say it now? I said this on Sunday on the Sunday show with Jonathan Capehart on MSNBC. I'm like, all of these Republicans, they're so aghast, right? Behind the scenes, behind closed doors, off the record. Why are they so chicken shit that they cannot come forward and say there is no place for this in the party? We are done with Donald Trump and these people and their ilk. This is not the future we want for this country.
It's very simple because they know there is a place for it in their
party. Exactly.
They know they won't risk alienating the base.
That's exactly.
And they know the secret sauce that has allowed this rock solid grip on the MAGA base by Donald Trump is that there's a large percentage of people who have fully internalized all this bullshit about caravans and about grooming and about affirmative action and all these other things and voter fraud. They know there's a huge percentage of the Republican base that believes in all that hot garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to piss them off. Look, Kevin McCarthy's not saying a goddamn word because he knows his boss, Marjorie Taylor Greene, spoke at Nick Fuentes, not Nick Ayers, excuse me. Nick Ayers is a different person. Nick Fuentes' conference. He knows that Andy Biggs and Paul Gosar and Matt Gaetz and all the rest of that clown car posse, that those people are at least, shall we say, alt-right curious.
Right. That's right. And he's reinstating Marjorie Taylor Greene to her committees. That's one of the promises I'm sure that he's made to keep her in line for now. But he's got 5 others. And if he goes, did you see that picture today? I tweeted it out.
I love it so much. I love it. It looked like a Renaissance painting.
Oh my God. So there's a Reuters photo today of Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, President Biden, Chuck Schumer, and Kevin McCarthy. It's a still photograph with Chuck Schumer, kind of grinning, smirking at Kevin McCarthy, and McCarthy's staring off into space with this horrified look on his face. And I was just like, caption this.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Right. I captioned it with Chuck Schumer saying, Kevin, you'll never be speaker. And Kevin saying, shit, I've got to kiss more MAGA ass. Anyway, but listen, that you're exactly right about this. I'm like, all these people are so aghast. No, they're not. Because if they were, there'd be mass resignations for Trump's campaign. They would walk off and say, we're done with this. We are not going to foment this bullshit in this country anymore. But no, they're not afraid to cash those checks from the campaign, though, that are coming in and working for someone this despicable. It's so clear, but yet we still have a Republican Party that is willing to whisper and cower and beat around the bush and pussyfoot around.
The ones that are coming out and saying his staff gave him bad advice. Oh, really?
Come on.
You people have been around this process now for 7 years. You've seen this guy operate. When does he listen to staff?
Exactly. He doesn't listen to any of them. And the ones that he does listen to, like the Stephen Millers of the world, are the worst of the worst. They're cut from the same freaking cloth. That's why he keeps them around. So, this nonsense that Trump didn't know him. I didn't know. Bullshit. Okay. Donald Trump knows how many towels are folded in the freaking spa. He's all up in it. Okay. He's a total micromanager. Don't tell me that he didn't know who was coming there. And come on, bullshit. That's been his excuse for how many times? Every time he gets caught. Oh, he was the coffee boy. Oh, I didn't know him.
Right. He was an intern. We barely knew him.
He would disown. He would say he didn't know Ivanka. Okay, if it meant saving his ass. So just stop it. Just stop it, Donald Trump. I mean, it's so absurd, the meltdown and the response to it, the whole thing. But he is who he is. The problem here is the Republican Party. They are still not unequivocally condemning this, and the ones who are, they don't have to face the voters anymore. They've either left the party, they've left office, or they're part of our Never Trump crew. Those people don't matter. They're not, we matter, but you know what I mean? They're not the ones that are going to move the needle inside the Republican Party. Hello.
And look, there are a lot of people, and there's been a little brouhaha the last 24 hours or something with, some of the NRO cruise line boys.
I saw
at National Review, where
coming for us.
Dan, whatever his name is, McLaughlin, saying, I will judge you. Get the fuck. You're in no position to judge shit.
No, that's
You're another one of those people who said, I don't support Trump. But you sat there for 4 years saying that Trump's farts smelled like honeysuckle and moonbeams, and that you could forgive anything as long as you got your judges
and tax cuts. And
right.
I got some hate mail today, or maybe it was yesterday, saying you're not welcome in the Republican Party. You can't acknowledge any of the good that Donald Trump has done, so we don't want you around. I was like, yeah, that's not the only reason you don't want me around.
Yeah, it's like, please don't make me go to your leper colony.
Right. I was like, yeah, okay. Make sure you get your tax cuts and your judges. Nothing else matters. That is just such a horrible approach to it. And that's how you lose democracy. That's how you lose democracy. I remember a time when Republicans used to say that about Democrats, right? Oh, they're socialists, they're communists. As long as you get your free stuff from the government, it's okay. They're just as bad. Just like I remember when Republicans flipped out because President Obama invited Jay-Z and Common to the White House. Remember that?
Right. Yeah. Jay-Z and Common, who now look like Simon and Garfunkel in comparison.
Exactly. So now we've got Nick Fuentes dining with a former president, current presidential candidate, the titular head of the Republican Party, and everybody's mom. Mom is the word. Now they got no problems with that. I can't with these people. You know who else I can't do? I just can't deal with it. I will be so glad when this freaking Georgia runoff is over and we can finally be rid of Herschel Walker, because folks, we still have an election going on here. And even though it doesn't determine who controls the Senate, but apparently Herschel Walker thought so. Okay, one of many interviews, Rick, that you missed while you were across the pond, where Herschel Walker said dumb shit as usual, between the erection comment and then thinking that if he gets elected, that it will make a difference in the Senate as far as control. Okay, buddy.
It's like the whole bleep, bloop, blop, blop, hibbity, bibbity, whatever it is he says. I'm so sorry for people who really believe that Herschel Walker, if he was in the U.S. Senate, would be the majority maker.
Right.
Math is hard. I know math is hard for people. But this is just addition, Herschel.
Yeah. And
I got a cat complaining in there. Can you hear it?
I don't blame. Is it nameless?
Yeah, she's not going ham in there. Come here,
because she's as over Herschel Walker as we are. I get it. I'm not mad at Nameless for it because it's like, make it stop. Please just make it stop. Well, yes, I'm with you, Nameless. Next week is the election. Early voting has already started. Record turnout for early voting. I like that. We like to hear that. We've had our union volunteers that are all up in it in Georgia, kicking ass, doing what they do, volunteers calling, all the stuff. There's still time to get involved, by the way. If you still want to go check out the union, join the union.us. They text, they call. I think they have some folks on the ground there too, where they're going out and door knocking, right? So doing great work there in Georgia. While usually most PACs and campaigns, they're packed up, the lights are off by now, but not us.
Like at their beach houses.
Right. Not us. The work to fight to save democracy never stops. But yeah, I am encouraged by what I'm seeing in Georgia coming from the Warnock campaign. Finally, I said this on Sunday too, where I felt they were a little passive for a little while there. It should not has been as close, but I understand they were trying to have the Reverend above the fray. But now they are, what they're doing, I think, is really smart. They have a 2-minute ad out now where they have actual voters who are reacting to real clips of Herschel Walker. Yep. And it's an array of voters. And their reactions are priceless. It's like war. It's like it's the art of war. When your enemy is destroying itself, you don't need to get involved.
It's actually a great approach and a great ad. I'm really. It's one of those things that makes it very clear. And the only parallel to it is a fairly obscure ad that I did back for Giuliani back in New York back in the 90s when there were all those sex shops and strip clubs being closed down in New York.
Yeah.
And the elite reaction was like, this will remove the character of our city. And we had ordinary people saying, get the fucking strip club out of my neighborhood.
Right. The peep shows.
I don't want my kids to be in the dildo shop.
Right. And now look at it. I mean, 42nd and 8th is the New York Times is on that corner.
Correct.
I mean, it's right around the corner from Times Square. You have Disney.
But the testimony of real people like this Warnock ad, I think is incredibly compelling.
Yeah.
Because it also gives people a permission structure to say, okay, that's a person like me who is reacting like I do. I'm validated. This makes sense to me. I don't have to, even from party obligation, stick with someone who clearly is a stranger to both the English language and to rational thought.
Yes, indeed. The thing too about it is that it's clear that Warnock's campaign is going for those Bannon line Republicans that we talk about all the time here at Lincoln Project.
Wow, where did they learn that trick?
Yes, I wonder. Because also there was split ticket. Like, people need to realize the reason why. Like, there are more Republicans registered than Democrats in Georgia, but they split ticket voted. They voted for Kemp, but voted for Warnock the first time around. And I think there will be more of those people who are focused 100% on this going. The more they see of Herschel Walker, because now that's the only race. They have to focus on that. They're like, yeah, we're not doing this. Like, we're not going to have this guy represent us in the Senate. No. Which is why I think we see record turnout.
For sure.
Yeah. So listen, after this race is over, I think that we're going to see, even though Republicans are just flailing right now, they're reeling. They don't know what to do. This sham or autopsy that they're putting together is just going to reinforce what the MAGAs already want, because they put MAGA people on the autopsy. Right. And, we're seeing like Mike Lindell running for RNC chair.
It's funny, Tara, is that Mike Lindell is starting to ask questions around Washington at these circles of, how much money does Ronna McDaniel make from the Win Red program?
Is that true?
Yep.
Wow. Explain what that is.
Even a blind pig finds a truffle once in a while.
Yes. Explain what that is to people who don't know.
So
they
Win Red
know what
is
Win Red is.
It's like Act Blue for Republicans. It's a fundraising platform. And there's a little cabal of private Republican operatives and strategists in DC who all get a little taste from it.
Yes.
So they get a split before any candidate sees that money. They skim off the top. They take some vig off the top.
It's legal. Saying skimming makes it seem like it's not legal. It is legal, but it's legal. But you know, if you want to talk about a grift, this is like a serious one.
And these are people who all hate Donald Trump, by the way.
Right. But
they
they'll
work
take
for
that
people
percentage.
like McConnell and McCarthy. They all hate Donald Trump.
Yes.
But they put Donald Trump's name in 90. Get this shit. The committee emails this year from the NRSC, from the NRCC, the RGA, and the RNC. 97% of their emails invoked Donald Trump's name.
Unbelievable. That's why they're so captive. That's another reason, folks, why they're so beholden to keeping Donald Trump in their good graces, because he will mess up their pipeline of money. It's just like when you go to a restaurant or you go to a shop and you swipe your credit card and it says there's a $3.99, 3% credit card fee. That's what WinRed does. They kind of take a service fee.
And there's a private group It's very secretive, and Ronna is alleged to be one of that private group. In fact, I wouldn't say alleged. She's in that private group of very wealthy Republican operatives who are making a killing from the MAGAs. And so Lindell has been asking people about that today. Now, look, is Mike Lindell going to win the chairmanship? No. Probably not.
But it's more fighting.
The matter is, it shouldn't even be a contest.
No, I know. I'm watching this with bated breath. I'm telling you right now. I just want to see how many votes he gets on the committee. I mean, where's their winter meeting? Where's their winter meeting? Do we know when they're doing this? I don't know. Usually it's in Florida, actually, but
I think it's in Palm Beach, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah, that'll.
That's the kind of shit I used to know. Like
me too.
I used to be like, yes, you could take these 7:18 a.m. Delta down there, and you'd be in time for the first symposium.
Yes, I know. You and me both, man. It's crazy. Like they're like this time of year, the NRCC dinners and all that. By the way, the NRSC is the senatorial committee, the NRCC is the congressional committee, and then the RGA is the Governors Association. So for those who don't speak Washington. Oh my God. Well, Rick, sadly, we are upon our hiatus time of the year.
Yes, it's the hiatus time, folks.
Yes, we're getting into the holidays, and we will be taking a hiatus, everyone. But I wanted to get your take going into the new year, what people should watch for LP and what LP is getting into as we start refreshed and ready to go in January of 2023.
Well, look, folks, the most important thing about this mission is Donald Trump's back in the game. And that means that the Republican Party, no matter what the fanboys of Ron DeSantis or Josh Hawley or Ted Cruz or whomever think, as long as he doesn't die of a heart attack, he's going to run.
Yeah.
And if he's going to run, he's very likely to win. Don't fall victim to the illusion he's going to get arrested or some magical leprechaun's going to save you. We are not that lucky. America is in the hands of a cruel and capricious God. And Donald Trump's going to run again. And we're going to have to be ready to face up to him. But the advantage everyone has this time is we all know the lies. We all know the bullshit. At the Lincoln Project, we'll be ready to fight it out and call it out, because not only is Trump a danger, but the spreading of the Trumpist candidates and cults is a greater danger.
Yes.
I'm more afraid in many ways of the polished, cleaned up suit and tie version that will emerge eventually. That is the Ron DeSantis, maybe not.
I was going to say that.
DeSantis.
Not as
more potato than Plutarch. But
they're looking to that. The establishment's looking to him. They're crowning.
They're looking for these things. But folks, we're going to be in this fight, and the presidential election of 2024 is on right now. Started on election day. Really started the day Donald Trump announced he was going to get back in.
That's right.
And it's vital as we push forward here that we keep this fight up for democracy, that we keep this fight up against an authoritarian movement that is informed by hatred and cruelty and racism and conspiracy. And it's vitally important that we continue to work on building a community of pro-democracy advocates and activists across the country.
That's correct.
And I can't tell you how proud I am of the team here at Lincoln Project, the team at the Union, and the thousands and thousands and thousands of people who interact with us every day on social media, in real life, on the grassroots level, who are inspired by this fight and want to stay in this fight. We hope you'll stay in this fight too. We wish you all a very blessed holiday, a very blessed Christmas, Hanukkah. I hope all of you have a time with your families where you have the discretion to shut the hell up about politics. Just enjoy a little time, because the battles to come, especially as the Republicans take the House in January, are going to be monumental and consequential. And the fight for this republic and this democratic system of government never ends. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you again real soon. Have a great, great break. We'll see you in January, and the fight will be back on. And God save the hindmost.
Thank you, everybody. And in 2023, I think for me, the most important part is that people stay engaged and that they realize that it's not an off year. This fight, to your point, is 24/7. And we can take a break for Christmas, but then it's right back, boots on the ground in the new year, because the enemy never stops. They are constantly waiting, planning, plotting, and
evil never sleeps.
That's right. Evil never sleeps. And we have to be steps ahead of them. We've defeated them before, and we can do it again. But it takes all of us, and there's more of us than there are of them. So we thank all of you for supporting us, and all of you for supporting the breakdown. And we wish you guys a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, all of those great
folks,
things.
If you're jonesing for some of that dirty Rick Wilson action, tune into my podcast on Resolute Square, the enemies list. That continues at a ferocious pace, and that will be available. There's a new one popping out at 5 a.m. this morning.
Nice.
So,
and we'll be over at Resolute Square. Go check us out, the strategy call too.
And I want to thank everybody on our fantastic production crew for the breakdown. Sam and Lisa and Barbara and Michelle and Felicia and everyone else. I just want to thank all of you. I am so grateful for all your unbelievably smart and professional work in this season of the breakdown. We'll see everybody again after the first of the year.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon.